Think of the music of 1968, and what comes to mind is probably American protest songs, psychedelia, and heavy rock. For most people, a lot of this music just seemed a bit strange. It wasn't the sort of thing you could sing in the shower. But there was one album that year more successful than any other that was packed with unforgettable melodies.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.
For actress Melanie Parr, the sound of music was a life-changing experience.
I was in an art school, rather like the Royal Ballet School, and an agent came to the school, which was unheard of, and was looking for children that were 12 years old but could act the playing age of a 6-year-old. So I was very short, and I was scooped up and taken to London with my 2 befuddled parents in tow, and we were deposited outside the Palace Theatre stage door for a big, big audition, which was the last audition for children for The Sound of Music. I was asked to sing. And as I was walking away into the streets of Soho with my parents, we had pounding feet behind us, and it was the company manager, and I was offered the part of Gretl there and then.
I simply remember my favourite things, and then I don't...
This was my audition dress, and I do have a picture of myself with Richard Rodgers outside the Palace Theatre during rehearsals that I think my dad took. This is the one that I wore as Gretl for 2 years till I was 14. Which is scary, really, because I really was quite short.
Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.
There's one genre that defines the 60s, and it isn't rock and roll. It is, of course, the musical soundtrack. The Sound of Music sold more copies than the top 2 Beatles albums put together, which may seem bizarre and preposterous to us now because we're so conditioned to see the 60s as the rock and roll decade. But that kind of music is actually what people listen to at home. Rock and roll is only one element in a very varied musical landscape, and not always the most important one.
These are a few of my favourite things.
The Sound of Music was the #1 selling album in 1965, 1966, and 1968, and sold more than 2 million copies in the UK alone, making it the most successful album of the decade.